Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be giving an update on NOVN pair request. My previous DD, which is a little bit more into depth, is in the description below. Make sure you subscribe, you turn notifications on, you share and like this video to make my channel grow. Let's jump right into it. So, looking here into the 1 month, 1 day, you get to see that the reversal that I was mentioning before has been confirmed on Friday. And you get to see that by the MACD turning quite positive on the second day in a row. In terms of volume, there's been a little bit of a less volume. That's a little bit of a dangerous sign for me when you have higher volume followed by a little bit less volume for me. Now, putting into mind that there's a Friday sell-off usually that happens, I'll let this one slide at this point. You can see that the stock is still a little bit more on the overbought side. The average directional index is getting a little bit closer to 45, a lot closer to 50. So around 45 to 50 is my usual sell point. The stock price is still above the 50 SMA, but under the 200 SMA. The stock 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, so that's all kind of bullish, except the 200 SMA being way above. Going in towards momentum, the stock has really high momentum, around 0.13, and it's really hard to see that it might actually change in terms of that from the day before. Taking a quick look here into the 5 days 1 hour analysis, you get to see that the MACD here has gone negative around 1 p.m. on Friday, and then kind of received that kind of a little bit off drawback. The price is under the VWAP, but here's the good news. The stock is trading in the trading action zone where reversals are likely, and you get to see a little bit of a negative trend here on the second day, and the reversal would send it to more of a positive one. The stock price is still above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA, so that's good news for us. You get to see that the stock hit around 60 before it kind of broke down, and that's where I say around 45 to 50 is usually a good place to sell, which would probably put it somewhere around this region here. Taking a quick look as well into the momentum, it looks like it has lost quite a bit of momentum from what it had in the last 3 days. Taking a quick look as well here in terms of supports and resistances, you get to see that it is currently sitting at a support around 0.6 into basically what you consider a traditional support, and the current resistance is sitting above that. I would say somewhere around 0.65. Taking a quick look as well here into the moving averages, you get to see the stock is trading above the moving average, so there is a little bit of a pullback there potential where it does pull back within that kind of band here, looking into the CNN purple. Looking into volumes, you get to see that it still is maintaining a good amount of volume. The only one comparable here in terms of volume movement, in terms of relative volume, would be something similar to this action here. You get to see it had higher volume, a slightly less volume, and you get to see this one here has happened quite a little, probably for the same reasons. Of course, this is not without any news and whatnot. I'm not going to go through that. There's nothing new in terms of news, so you would have to watch my previous DD, which I go in depth in terms of the videos. In terms of the ticker. So this is the Fibonacci retracements here. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to just redraw it quickly. So I'm going to take the high point and then the low point, and I'm going to be looking into where that Fibonacci retracement support is, and then I'm going to be drawing a trend line to compare. So you get to see that the current support based on Fibonacci is sitting at 0.60, and the next resistance sitting around 0.67. Now there is as well a traditional support sitting at 0.58 after that, and then another one around 0.56, and before that one around 0.61. So it has quite a bit of supports to go through before it hits that Fibonacci one. Going quickly here to try to identify any trends that we might look at. We're going to be doing the 3 months here. I'm going to try to draw perhaps a channel if I can. So a channel is not going to be very much accurate per point unless I expand it way higher. What I'm going to be trying to do here is I'm just going to try to draw a trend line instead. You can see the trend line is touching nicely 2 points here, so that's good. We're going to do 1 month 1 hour. We get to see how far off we're on the trend line. It did seem to break it just a little here, and we're talking about around less than a cent difference, or almost a cent difference here. So I'll ignore that. Or actually, I could just... yeah, so I'll just ignore that somewhere around here. You get to see the drop down is somewhere around 0.49. So what would I do if I held the stock? I would consider really selling at this point, but I would really watch the pre-market, especially if you don't have to, you don't get to trade in the pre-market. You can hit me on Twitter and I'll give you an update in the morning on Monday. But what it looks like is that it has seen quite a jump with a little bit less volume. I would consider selling at this point. And I'm not talking about the stock doesn't have potential in the future, and that, don't get me wrong on that. I'm just saying based on the technical analysis chart, you might get that. But there might be a reversal based on people who didn't want to hold over on the weekend and they want to get back into the stock, so that's also another possibility. What do you think about the stock? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day.